I have a super fun update for you this week. I have been kicking off a whole new networking series with my yes friend, who you've seen on here on my YouTube channel with Megan Eckman. We kicked off an event this past week called Hustle Hard, Slide Faster. It's held in Portland for the Metro Portland and Vancouver, Washington region. We decided that networking events have gotten really stodgy and they're boring. And people keep leading with the old BNI framework, which has some value, I will admit, but people are just tuning each other out. When you shake someone's hand and you lead with, this is who I serve and what I offer, and you're already talking about the thing you sell before the person even has gotten to know your personality or anything about you, they start tuning you out. So we decided, how about if we help people learn how to human again together, find some more authenticity? We'll make it a ton of fun. We were inspired by the Japanese presentation game. It's called PechaKucha. It is a model where you have 20 slides, and each slide is timed for exactly 20 seconds. We kicked off with March for Women's History Month, and the theme was women who don't get enough airtime. In April, we're doing another one. It will always be on the last Tuesday of every month. And for April's theme, we're doing a fun pitch fest type event. Pitch us the business you're never going to run. We have some really fun topics in the future. We have a pitch your single friend event coming up. We've got all kinds of stuff. Hopefully, you can join us at some point in the future. What I decided to do was to show you in the video this week some of the behind the scenes from the event, and also to redeliver my presentation so you can see what one looks like and how creative you can be. I hope that you come and join us. Try your hand at doing this. Come and check us out and hang out with us the last Tuesday of every month at Graybox down in Southwest Portland. Tickets are free. We have snacks. We have beautiful views of Portland, and the Eventbrite ticket link is in the show notes below the video. So we'll see you next month. All right, here we go. I am going to read my cue cards just like I did on the night of Hustle Hard, Slide Faster. Tonight, I'm giving the mic to a demographic that keeps the lights on in publishing. Women who read romance fiction. Spoiler alert, they're not just reading, they're driving an entire economy. It's time we stopped treating their taste like a punchline and started recognizing the power of what they're buying, demanding, and building. Traditional publishing is frankly in survival mode. Many genres are tanking. Literary fiction saw a 6% sales drop in 2022 alone. But one genre keeps cash flowing and books moving: romance. The one genre everyone wants to mock, yet it's the lifeline publishers cling to. Romance pulls in over 1.44 billion a year in the US alone. That's more than sci-fi, fantasy, and mystery combined. It accounts for 18 to 20% of the entire US book market. It's not niche, it's not fluff, it's the heartbeat of publishing, and it's doing it with spice, swoon, and a whole lot of stamina. Publishing MVPs. Romance readers aren't casual browsers. They're voracious consumers. 82% of them are women, and they read more books per year than any other genre's fan base. Many average 9 or more books a month, double or triple the average reader consumption. These aren't one-and-done shoppers. They are loyal, engaged, and coming back for more. There's nothing guilty about finding joy in a story that centers pleasure, connection, and emotional intimacy. Romance novels are often dismissed as silly, but they offer a narrative arc that affirms hope, healing, and self-worth. That is powerful, not trivial. Thanks to Kindle Direct Publishing and platforms like TikTok, self-published authors are dominating the charts. They control their IP, build their empires, and engage directly with readers. Colleen Hoover started as self-published, whether you like her or not with the controversy right now, and now she's sold over 20 million books. That is a fact. Book Talk exploded the spicy book world. That little chili pepper rating, it's influencing buyer behavior more than traditional reviews ever did. Romantasy, dark romance, taboo tropes. TikTok gave them a viral runway and readers devoured them. In fact, romance book sales increased by 75% in 2022, largely due to Book Talk. The Fourth Wing series by Rebecca Yarros was a phenomenon. Dragons, enemies to lovers, and sprayed edges. Yes, people lost their minds over fancy edges. It sold out in
72 hours. Book 2 debuted at #1 on the New York Times list. Romantasy is here, and it's big. Callie Hart's Quicksilver started as a steamy Kindle Unlimited title. Then came a publisher bidding war. Yes, publishers are fighting over the rights to smut. And readers, they're along for the ride, cheering it on with pre-orders and fan art. Callie Hart recently closed a 7-figure deal with Netflix for a live-action adaptation of Quicksilver. Libraries know what their patrons want. Romance is one of the highest circulating genres in libraries across the U.S., accounting for up to 30% of adult fiction checkouts in some systems. Public funds are buying these books because people want them, and librarians, they're making sure access stays equitable. Libraries are being defunded and targeted, especially when they stock queer, BIPOC, or spicy romance books. In 2022, there were a record 1,269 attempts to ban or restrict library materials in the U.S., many of them romance titles. These attacks aren't about protecting kids. They're about silencing stories that center pleasure, agency, and love outside the status quo. Romance is becoming more inclusive, and it's about damn time. Readers want diverse stories. Authors like Talia Hibbert, Kennedy Ryan, and Casey McQuiston are topping charts. Their books are changing lives and selling in droves. Romance novels dominate bestseller lists month after month. For example, Colleen Hoover alone had 6 books on the New York Times bestseller list simultaneously in 2022. These books aren't fringe, they're front and center. If literary fiction moved units like this, it wouldn't need so many grants and book club saviors. Men are reading romance and loving it. Some are even writing it because these books model something a lot of dudes never got growing up: emotional intelligence, boundaries, consent, relationship repair. 16% of romance readers now identify as male, and that number is rising. That is also an old statistic from 2017, so the number's probably higher. The U.S. Surgeon General declared loneliness a national epidemic in 2023. This report was not centered on the bro-centric male loneliness discussions, but rather for all humans regardless of gender identity. Romance novels offer emotional connection on the page, and that matters. They give readers a sense of intimacy and hope, 2 things we are all starved for right now. Romance fiction is a masterclass in emotional labor. These books don't just show happily ever afters. Through conflict, communication, compromise, we see characters doing the emotional heavy lifting. These are roadmaps for emotional resilience. And unlike much of the mainstream male-authored fiction, where sex is often portrayed through power, violence, or conquest, romance centers mutuality and pleasure. We've been sold a lie that literary fiction is the gold standard of culture. Slow, often joyless, and overwhelmingly male. But what could be more serious than stories about healing, transformation, and intimacy? Romance isn't afraid to go there, and when people dismiss it, what they're really saying is that women's joy and desire aren't worthy of respect. Romance is the only genre created by, for, and about women in all their messy, brilliant glory. We don't roll our eyes when male authors center male desire, even when it's problematic or outright violent. But when women write explicit scenes grounded in mutual desire and emotional safety, that's somehow less valid. So let's be honest, it's not about the quality of the content, it's about who gets to tell the story. Romance readers are not a niche. They're the backbone of the publishing industry. They're showing up with their dollars, their reviews, pre-orders, and their TikTok fan edits. They're creating demand, supporting authors, and keeping this entire ecosystem alive. If you're still ignoring them because of some outdated bias, maybe you're not just wrong, maybe you're irrelevant. The next time someone rolls their eyes at a romance novel, I want you to hand them one with a wink and warning and say, start with chapter 55 and hydrate, because what lives in these pages is more than a fantasy. It's emotional literacy, resilience, and radical hope. That's revolutionary. The genre isn't going anywhere, and neither are we. And that's how we do it.
1, 2. Can you turn me up? I see it, like it, I want it, on it, I'm getting it, yeah. Now see me strut up and stun like I just don't care. Let's go. I move the body, yo, for my love. You better buckle up, yo, don't be so cavalier. Ladies, all about to get loose in here. I shake the ground, you know I'm living low. Baby, you ain't ready for what's coming now. Watch this. I got the